Daily compounding versus annual compounding. Notice 10 grand, 6% interest over a year. You're going to earn 10.6. You're going to earn 10.618. Oh, you're going, yawn, Brad, yawn. About $1 million. And how about we do this for, I don't know, 5 years. 1.338 is a lot less than 1.349 for not doing a darn thing. That's why the finance people love finance, because we don't have to do anything other than bring in more money and put it to use. Look at what we earn for doing nothing. I'm no longer in finance per se. That's why there's billionaires. They understand compounding. They understand the power of money and the power of return. 25 years, just $1 million. That's just one-time deal. Let's just say you have a 25-year CD that paid daily interest. In 25 years, you're going to have 4.91 million. If you shift over the compounding, it's going to be 4.48 million. How do we do it? We have our present value. We have 6%. And then we have future value. Future value, in other words, we're saying $1 today earning 6% in a year is going to give me, let's just go 1. Let's go $1. $1 can earn 6% or 6 cents. Future value. Future, we're looking at the future. We don't have this broken down over here. You would have to break this down so you can see it's an insignificant amount. I'm trying to get the concept across. The future value. Present value, we're going to say your dollar today is only going to be worth, you're going to lose 6% of your purchasing power. Well, a little more than 6% over a year. That's why that loaf of bread continues to go higher, higher, higher. That's why your Starbucks coffee gets more expensive, because your purchasing power shrinks. Think of this annual rate as inflation. And if we change this, if we switch this over, it's going to be 93 cents. In other words, your dollar today is only going to buy 93 cents. If your earnings, in other words, your salary, is not keeping up with this number, your purchasing power is going to drop. You're going to find your cup of coffee much more expensive relative to your income. How do we do this? We have a future value. Here we have rate, number of periods, payment. Well, we're not going to deal with payment. We're going to look at present value. Our type is going to be blank. To compare the impact of compounding periods on growth, you can format a worksheet as shown and use the future value function to calculate the future value. In this example, 10 grand, let's go back to 10 grand, will grow to, well, in this case, 10.6, based on whatever earnings we're making on an annual basis. If we use daily, it'll grow to 10.618 and some change. I'll show you how to do that. There's a couple different ways. You can use this formula. And I showed you a different way earlier. You can go period, rate, G5 divided by C5. Depending on the term, in other words, the compounding, this is going to change. This is going to be G5, 1 divided by C5, 1. And then we have C5, which is 1, and that's number of periods, times G6, 1 times 1. C5, right here. As we copy down, this is going to change. We have PV is 10 grand. There was a tutorial. I said, if you're not paying attention and you start just throwing this stuff together and it blows up on you, here we have present value. You see it says G4, which is 10 grand. And there's a negative there. Why is it negative? Think about that for a second. I'm just going to throw a positive in there. In some cases, you're just going to get a color issue. Because we're looking at future value, we're going to put a negative in there. And why do we put negative 10 grand in there? You notice there's no future value over here. We're going to have a present value function It may have a present value and a future value in there. Or we might need to compute a payment where we're going to have a present value here and a future value, and you might put the wrong operator, or you may put a number into future value and it was supposed to be present value. So think through what you're doing. Just test it. You can always go 10 grand, 1, 2, 3 times 1.06, and then you want to put a little caret here and a 1. And we got 10.6. Otherwise, you could use these just very simple compounding formulas without using Microsoft tools. 10 grand, 1 plus. This is for semi-annual. We're going to take our interest rate divided by our compounding period. You're going to have to raise it to whatever that compounding period is. If we want to take that 10 grand, earn daily interest, we take 10 grand, 1 plus 6%. We have 365 periods, and we need to raise it to whatever the compounding period is. 10, 6, 1, 8, 31. Brad Williams, Excel Prime. Thanks a lot.